if they passed on Herbert, that might be one of those things where we end up talking in a couple years from now. Hey, remember when the Dolphins could have drafted Herbert? Ha ha.
That'll be the second one of the last 2 decades.
Yeah,
missing out on Drew Brees, then missing out on Justin Herbert.
Yep. And why? Matt, what a great call, because why? They were worried, ironically, about Drew Brees' injury, right? And they decided not to take him. And in this case, it will most likely be because they decided to go with a kid with the injury history, right? So just classic, hard luck Miami Dolphins shit right there. But give me the Chargers all day in this one. This Broncos team just got done being blown out and embarrassed by the Chiefs. And I don't think it gets any easier, at least with the high-powered octane of this offense. So, call it 35-14. I think we see the Chargers just roll them in this one, to be honest.
Real quick, just to touch back on that Miami thing, y'all did sign Dante Culpepper over Drew Brees. And Culpepper was coming off of a knee, and y'all trusted that more than Drew Brees coming off of the shoulder, which, you think about it, kind of makes sense.
In fact, Drew Brees wasn't exactly Drew Brees until he got to New Orleans. Do you know what I mean? So looking back on it, it wasn't like Drew Brees coming off of a Super Bowl win with an injury. This was Drew Brees that was pretty good for the Chargers.
Yeah, I feel
it wasn't quite the same guy. But with that being said, that's tough. I mean, that's a really tough call, and I don't
Rueter,
envy that decision.
I'm kind of curious. How excited were you when y'all did sign Dante Culpepper?
At the time, I liked it, just because he had come off of a lot of success. And the thing there was that it was very interesting. It was a very, very interesting read that I had. And this was years ago, but it was how that Dante Culpepper going to Miami move ended up changing the landscape of the NFL in an incredibly major way. And at this point, I don't remember all the ins and outs of it, but it had to do with, first of all, Culpepper coming to Miami, and then ultimately Brees going to the Saints, who ended up winning Super Bowls. It ended up with the Chargers selecting Eli Manning, and then ultimately flipping him to the Giants. So it was like this whole whirlwind of effects that happened because the Dolphins selected or ended up grabbing Culpepper. So interesting read there. But yes, to answer your question specifically, I was very excited when it happened, and that one didn't work out for me. But
some butterfly effect shit, right?
Yeah,
there.
man. It really was. Yeah, the butterfly flapped its wings, and the Dolphins sucked for the last 2 decades. So, so that's how that went for me.
Hey, man, y'all won you guys won the.
I like that.
You guys won the AFC East once. It's one of the Bills and Jets.
That's true. I think that was the Jay Fiedler year, if I'm not.
They needed fucking Tom Brady to be out for a season for them to win a division.
They look great, man. They look great. It's amazing how great you look when Tom Brady's not around.
It's kind of funny I just mentioned that.
If only had someone said that today.
Because that was 2008. We played you guys in the playoffs, and we just like dog walked y'all. Like Chad Pennington threw like 4 interceptions. That was fucking beautiful. I was just watching the highlights of that game. It was wonderful.
Sounds right.
Ed Reed just caught one over the shoulder and ran it back like 80 yards. It was fucking amazing. I loved it.
That sounds like us.
All right. So moving on here, we're going to go with the Las Vegas Raiders traveling to Cleveland to take on the Cleveland Browns. Right now, the 5-2 Cleveland Browns are the home favorites, -2.5, over under 49.5. Do y'all believe in this Cleveland team? Like, is this real, or are they just like, are they fluky?
I'm starting to believe. All right. I went to Cleveland a couple weeks ago, and man, Cleveland fans have a big set of balls.
What was going on with that, man? I heard there's like some unpleasant conversations. Can you mind telling the story?
Bro, I got called a bitch in front of my daddy, man. Like, what the all right. It hurt. I was like, I went to Cleveland. I'm in my Phillip Rivers jersey. I'm like, man, the city's so nice. Everybody's so cool. Going in the stadium, which is a very beautiful stadium, by the way. And I'm like, oh, everybody's so friendly. Nobody's bothered me. I haven't had a beer dumped on me yet, like I would at Bill Stadium. So everything's cool. And then Phillip Rivers, just obviously he had a terrible game. So I was like, okay, walk down the stairs. Yeah, go back to Indianapolis. You're a bitch like your quarterback. I'm like, whoa, okay, whatever. I'm just like, whatever. I got, I'm not here to fight people. pool. That's just not me. And I'm certainly not going to fight over a football game. So we just kind of left. Some lady with her boobs hanging out was like, Colts suck. And then she fell on the floor. So that was kind of cool.
Oh,
and then some crackhead who was standing outside of Cleveland Stadium was like, oh, y'all bitches gonna have a nice long drive back to Indianapolis, Browns Nation. And I just look at him like, yeah, at least we can drive, crackhead. So and he just shut up. So it was painful. I couldn't wait to get back home.
Yo, I just kind of imagine, like, you remember the Dave Chappelle scene when he's walking through the club in like regular motion and he's just getting shit on the whole time? I just imagine that was like the whole scenario you walking through the Cleveland Stadium, man. I'm sorry.
Matt Johnson was there to kick ass and chew bubble gum. Luckily, he brought tons of bubble gum, so it was fine.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. But my dad was there for me, so I was pretty proud of that. But this Cleveland team is for real, in all honesty. And there's actual statistical proof that, well, it's a very small margin. We talked about this past week on my own show. That Baker actually plays better when Odell Beckham Jr. is not there.
Seeing that stat line.
It's pretty incredible. It's honestly pretty incredible. 2018 Baker, tons of optimism. He wasn't forcing things. He was spreading the ball out really nicely. 2019, he targeted Odell Beckham Jr. a ton, and understandably so. OBJ is a fantastic, he's a pretty good player. Let's just say, I think a lot of people, he's still held in high regard because of that one-handed catch in 2014. Yeah. That's my personal opinion. I haven't seen a whole lot of things that really blown me away over the last couple of years since that. But Baker actually plays better when he's not there. I mean, look, I think he had one incompletion after OBJ went down. Which, listen, I'm not here to shit on the guy. Oop, that's not.
Oh, hey!
Wow! You guys are on fire.
I'm not here to kick a guy while he's down, but I think even without Nick Chubb, I still think this Browns offense is legit, and they're going up against a Raiders defense, which isn't really all that great. I'm taking Cleveland and Baker here. I think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be as close as many people would like to think, but I'm going to go as a score. I'm going to go 27-17 for the Browns against the Raiders here.
Interesting. I like it a lot, Matt. I love that you pointed out that stat because I hadn't heard that statistic in particular or heard that officially that he plays better without him. But that's what my eyes bore out, right? I saw on the field that when Odell was out there, he tried to force things. And I think that is Odell's name and personality carrying water there where otherwise his performance has not. If you look at his numbers, I think he's easily, because of his athletic prowess, he is an incredible athlete, right? And he did that amazing catch, and he's got all the swagger, and he's got a big social media presence. He has done maybe a better job at branding himself than just about any other athlete for his level, because I don't think anyone anymore puts him on that elite tier of receiver, and he hasn't been for a few years. So the fact that he still gets all that hype is pretty amazing. But with that being said, I don't think it hurts them that Odell is out. As you said, it may even be a benefit. And I'm sorry if I said Baker there, I meant that Odell is out. I'm not sure if I said Odell or not, but if Odell is out, that may not hurt this team that much. And I think they figured out who they are. They've turned themselves into a running team. They've made Baker a little bit more of a game manager than the gunslinger that he looked like back in 2018. And I think this Browns team is the Browns team that everyone anticipated coming out last year. Right. I think that that Stefanski has them playing well. I think he's a much better coach than Freddie Kitchens. And I think the product shows on the field. On the other side of the ball, you're going to have the Raiders, who have kind of shown flashes like the Raiders do, but they've kind of lost to just about any good team that you've put in front of them, with the exception, of course, that crazy Chiefs game where I think if the game went another 10 minutes, the Chiefs win that game. So give me the Browns here as well. And we'll call it 35 to 25 for a weird score. There's probably going to be a blocked extra point or something in this one. Something weird. It's the Browns and Raiders, so something weird's going to happen. Matter of fact, call it like 36-24, something weird like that.
This Cleveland's team, when they go up against elite competition, they get waxed. But they beat up on good team or bad teams. The Raiders, they're a bad team in my opinion. Like, they've won against KC. They look good at times. I'm going to go with Cleveland. I think I think that Kareem Hunt is going to have an awesome game, like 150 yards rushing, couple of touchdowns, and they're just going to wear this Oakland team out. Oakland's offensive line are just coming off of the COVID reserve list. Myles Garrett has been a fucking beast.
Oh, I know.
And I think that Cleveland kind of handles this Oakland's team. I'm gonna go with a score of 29. That's a weird, 29, whatever. Let's weird it up even more. 29-19. Fuck it. It's a nice little.
I'm telling you, mark my word. You're laughing at me, but mark my words. There's gonna be some. I guarantee. With the Derek Carr led Vegas Raiders and this Browns team, there's going to be a fucking shit show at some point. Something weird's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to be weird.
Somebody's probably going to block a field goal, run it back for a touchdown, and then miss the ensuing extra point. There's
somebody's going to do a fucking drop kick. Fuck it. Like, why not? Let's get fucking weird.
Super weird game.
He's going to slap Baker in the helmet. You want to get fucking weird, bro? Let's do it. All right, let's move it on here, guys. New Orleans traveling to Chicago to take on the Bears. Right now, Chicago are home underdogs, plus 4.5, and over under is 43. I'm going to make this one quick. I love Chicago. Like I don't know what it is about this team. I like Nick Foles. They're shitty offensively. Like they're bad. Their defense, Khalil Mack, we know about him. He's dominant and he could take over games. And I just can't see it against this New Orleans team. And Rueter, you know how much I really don't like Drew Brees right now. I think he's bad still. Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas might be back. Alvin Kamara has been
Thomas
awesome
is out, I believe. Thomas ruled out.
Thomas ruled out.
I thought I saw that. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. It's such a weird situation because he was away and then it was just I feel like he's like on the trade block in New Orleans.
I can see that. The
way this is all transpired, like, oh, he's coming back. No, he's not. I honestly feel like Michael Thomas will be traded by November 3rd.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure where he will go, but it just certainly feels that way. Like he's had a rough couple weeks. I mean, it's been a rough couple months for him. What's his name? Called him Slant Boy and made him punch him. And Michael Thomas punched him.
Hold on, time out. That's what happened. Somebody called him Slant Boy.
I think it was Malcolm Jenkins called him Slant Boy, and he got pissed and punched him in the face. And they set him out. And then he came back, and then he had a hamstring injury. Yeah,
that is funny.
He is slant. He's such a I'm not gonna say he's a diva, but
he is. He's a diva.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, he is.
All right, he is. I mean, did you see his little back and forth with Devontae Parker over the off season? Like this dude is like,
bro.
Give me a break. But yeah, Slant Boy is not playing. So it's weird on both sides, but I do think Thomas is going to be trade bait.
I'm going to go New Orleans wins this game. I want to go with a score of 30-17.
All right. I will go. I'm going to take Chicago in this one.
Oh shit!
They're one of them weird ass teams, man, and they're. I think New Orleans is ripe for the picking right now. They're not consistently good. I mean, Drew Brees is a bit of a hint. I'm not gonna say he's a hindrance, but he's not the Drew Brees that should have. It's actually pretty incredible to think that if he did not come back, they were gonna go get Brady for a year. It's well documented. It's pretty crazy to think of that connection right there. But I'm going to take Chicago. I think this defense is run by Pagano is actually playing very, very well, which is, it pains me to say that because Pagano was a big part of ruining Andrew Luck's career as much as Ryan Grigson was, but that's a story for another day. But I think Chicago can compete with this Saints team. I do. I think they can beat them. I think it's going to be close. I think it'll probably be a defensive matchup. A tight defensive game. I'll go 17-14 the Bears.
Bears.
Where I think Matt was completely right was that the Bears can definitely hang with this team. I just keep waiting for the Bears to lose, and they just kind of keep winning. I don't know how that keeps happening. It's just one of those teams this year that kind of hit their stride. I think that Bryce nailed it when he said that Khalil Mack can take over a game. He's one of two defensive players that I've watched that can absolutely impose their will on the opposing team's offense. That's Aaron Donald and Khalil Mack. Those are the two guys in the league that I've watched take over games just literally by themselves. And aside from that, though, what I'm going to say here with the Bears at home getting 4.5, I think that the Saints are